Today I'm going to show you how to make some little wire wrapped rose stud earrings. You can see they're just little studs like this. And for me, every time I do wire wrapping, I come to the conclusion that I suck at it. I really do. So I have decided to learn a few of the basics. This is one of the easier things that you can make. And I'm reviewing them, and so I thought as I did that I would bring them to you also, and you can learn with me. So this is what we're making today, and as you can see, I've made a few pairs just to try to get the feel of it. And with these ones, you can see where I put the wire up towards the top and wrapped it, and then these ones I grabbed the wire in the middle and took it straight out. And that is how I show you on the video today. But you can play with your wire in the back. You can lift it to the top. You can wrap the extra wire you'll have, and you'll see what I mean in the video around it, like these, so that they are the stud is more towards the top, or like I said, in the center, and just play with them. It took me several tries to get a couple that I actually liked. And I made a whole bunch of them. Here's another one. And just until I actually figured out how I wanted to make it. Now, in making this, you are going to need several things. So you need something round to wrap the wire around first. And I did a couple of these. I think I did this one with a Sharpie. And I just wrap my wire around it and just remember where I put it so I can make my second one to match. So I would just wrap it right around the eye. And I find and I used a dowel too. This is about 9 millimeters in diameter. This is about 12, and this is 15. I found this worked the best for me because it kind of grips my wire. This is just my reamer tool that came in my kit of jewelry tools. You can see they match. So I used this in the video, but you can use anything you want. So just get something round, something 12 millimeter, 15 millimeter round, something around that size. And you'll just have to hold it a little bit better if it slides around, or you can get something and wrap a piece of material around it and glue it on there or something, and that'll help it grip a little bit too. Then you'll also need some flat nose and chain nose. You can have either or. You don't have to have both, but I like to have them both on hand. And then some flush cutters. You can use your nylon nose pliers if you'd like to straighten out the wire a little bit in the back for your stud, if you'd like, not necessary, and some round nose pliers. You will also need 2 pieces of 9 inches or about 22 centimeters of wire. Cut 2 pieces. This is 20 gauge, and this is tinned copper is what I'm using, artistic wire. It's a soft wire. And you can also use a ruler to measure. Mine has both centimeters and inches, so you may want to have a ruler on hand, or you can just cut 2 pieces, estimate them to be about 9 inches, and cut them both the same. And you'll also need some earring backs. I'm just using these little plastic earring backs that I bought at Michael's. You can use any earring backs you would like. And that's what you need. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have one of the pieces of wire that I have cut at 9 inches. And I've got my little bead reaming tool that came in a kit of my tools for jewelry making. I'm going to use it. It has kind of a material grip so that it keeps things from sliding, and that's why I like to wrap my little flowers around this. However, you can use a dowel, or you can use a Sharpie pen. You can use whatever you'd like. You'll get a little bit more slippage, but you'll just have to control that as you hold it onto whatever object that you use that's round. Now I'm going to take my piece of wire, and I'm going to just kind of find the center of it. You can bend the 2 ends together like so to find the center if you'd like. It's still not going to be perfect, but it'll give you an idea. And then I'm just going to put the wire underneath my round object here. And this is about 15 millimeters in diameter from here to here. It's 15 millimeters. So that gives you an idea of what size I'm using. Now I'm just going to take the two wires and squeeze them. So one side and the other side, squeeze them together until they crisscross like so. Then I'm just going to bring my finger down and push them, and that wraps it nice around my tool here. Now I've got one wire on top of the other. I'm going to grab and twist them. So I'm going to put my finger here and my thumb here, and I'm just going to twist them all the way around, like so. Let you get close so you can see what it looks like. Now you can see that this wire is coming around this way and this wire is coming around this way. So I want to follow the way they're naturally going. So I'm going to take this bottom wire, I'm going to put my thumb on top of this and just move the bottom wire to the top. And then I'm going to move the top wire to the bottom. Until I get a little knot started. Now I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take this top wire and spin around, and take the bottom wire and spin around that top wire. Now hopefully you can see. And then I'm going to take this bottom wire and spin back around again. And then I'm going to take this bottom wire and go down. Now I've lifted this bottom wire up a little bit. At this point, now that I've got a center established, I'm going to start twisting the wires around each other. So, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to bring this wire down and underneath the previous wire, like so. I'm just going to go about a quarter turn past it. And then I'm going to take this top wire and I'm going to go underneath that wire that I just moved. And I'm going to leave each wire raised after I do this. So I'm going to go around this way, like so, and then raise my wire, and then I'm going to take the other wire and go underneath that wire, and about a quarter of a turn past it, past that wire. Lift your wire, and then again, bring the other one underneath, and go about a quarter of a turn past it. And then lift that wire and bring the other one underneath it, like so. Lift this wire and bring this one underneath it. And then again, bring this wire underneath that one. And then lift it and bring this one underneath that one. And then lift it and try to get one more turn here. Bring that one underneath that one and lift it, and then bring this one underneath this one. It gets a little hard as you get to the end here of your wire. Now I am going to, let's see what my flower looks like. Okay, now I'm going to cut this wire a little shorter, and cut this wire a little shorter. Try not to let your wire fly like I just did. And then because mine is rather tight, I don't think I can slip it off. Maybe I can. I'll just slip this off. If you have something smooth, it'll slip off a lot easier. But I like the fact that this kind of grips it for me. It makes it easier for me to work because it's not moving around so much. There. Now, this is what my flower looks like. And I'm going to take this wire here on the top, and I'm going to cut it even a little shorter, I think. It's a little too long. I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm going to bend it under the flower and tuck it in to the layers that I made previously. Get you even closer. Now I'm going to do that again with this one. So I think I'll cut it even a little shorter.
And then I'm going to grab it, roll it under, and tuck it.
There's my flower.
Now I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and just kind of smooth this out, flatten it down a little bit, make it look a little bit more like a flower. I'm going to put it on here and flatten it down so that it's
Nice and straight, like so.
And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut this ring right in the middle here. Now, decide which wire that's extended up that you would like to use
For your ear wire, I'm going to use
this one, I think. Let me see. Maybe I'll use this one. Doesn't matter. Just pick one. And then straighten it out. It helps if you just straighten them straight out first, like so. And then bring this wire straight up. Handle your wire gently so you don't mar it. You can use your nylon nose pliers if you'd like. You don't have to. Straighten it out a little bit. I find that doesn't really work all that great with this anyway. So I'm going to get some flat nose pliers and I'm just going to bring this straight up.
and just get it the best you can. That's what mine looks like. I'll straighten it some more after I wrap this one around it because I'm just going to bend it when I do that probably. So and you don't have to worry about the very end, just about that much or however much you want the length of your ear wire to be
Or your stud to be. So now I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to wrap it around the other one gently. It's kind of hard to do. Don't get discouraged, just wrap it around. Sometimes you can get it really close to the other wire, wrap it around really nice, and sometimes you can't. Just get it as close as you can, and then cut it off. And tuck it under.
Okay, make sure you're not messing up your flower.
Still looks pretty good. I'm just going to kind of tuck it under the best I can. You can wrap them tighter around the stud wire. That's great. That's the best way. But if you can't, just get it as neat as you can and as close to the stud as you can, the stud wire. Now I'm going to straighten it out a little bit more. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just do it the best you can. And then I'm going to get the other one I made. So I think I cut this wire kind of short. So I'm going to grab it.
And you can see I got my stud wire or my other wire wrapped around this one a little better than this one.
This one's kind of sticking up, and I'll work with it a little bit more. But just get it the best you can. I'll wrap this one under a little bit better. But I'll do that off camera. Just work with it. Now I'm going to cut this one about the same size as that one. And then I'm going to use a file, and I'm going to file the end of this wire to make sure that it is not really rough, so that it doesn't hurt you when you put it in your ear. I like to just kind of file the edges round, and then I'll file the top a little bit. And you just keep filing it until you feel like it's nice and smooth and it's not going to hurt anybody. You can use an emery board too, if you'd like.
And then just take your earring back
And put it on. Oops. At this point, if you want to, you can straighten everything out. And get an earring back for this one.
And these are my roses. They work really cute. They turn out really nice. And they're really cute in the ear. Really easy to make. And one I wrapped a little tighter than the other, so if I need to, I can squeeze it in a little bit. I don't like to mess with them too much after I make them, though. They're going to be a little bit different. That's just the way it is. And if you work with them too much afterwards, you can kind of distort them and make them weird. So you can play with them a little bit, but don't go crazy with it. That's what they look like. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye-bye.